Landslides in eastern Canada aren't a new phenomenon.
A landslide on Monday forced 79 people out of their homes.
We've seen a number of landslides, like this one off the shores of Nicolet.
Workers were inside these vehicles when they tumbled dozens of meters downwards.
A massive landslide left that massive crater behind.
And they can sometimes be devastating.
Rescue workers have confirmed they found 4 people buried in the mud.
Experts say landslides, not floods, is the natural disaster that claims the most lives in Quebec. They can be dramatic, like the one near Trois-Rivières in May 2025. And experts also have a warning.
In general, I think the community will agree to say that we are likely to have more landslide frequency.
So why do we have so many here, and why could we get more? Well, the answer starts with a bit of history. Ancient history. It goes back to when much of southern Quebec and parts of eastern Ontario was under the Champlain Sea 10,000 years ago after the last ice age. It left behind a layer of Leda clay, and it's in that soil that most landslides happen in Quebec, huddled in sections along the St. Lawrence River. On average, Quebec experiences roughly 100 landslides annually.
Most of the St. Lawrence Valley and southern Quebec is covered with clay on the ground, so that's a good material to be it's prone to, when in the right situation, it could cause landslide.
This clay can absorb a lot of water, really much more than coarser material like sand or silt or gravel. It can accumulate a lot of water.
And while most people think of landslides happening on steep slopes, Leda clay doesn't even need those to slide. Experts say landslides can happen one of 3 ways. There's the way most people would think of one. That's the movement of a large piece of intact ground detaching and traveling down an unstable slope. Then you can also have what's called a flow type, where instead of one big piece, imagine a bunch of organic material flowing down at once, like the movement of a fluid. And finally, a spread. That's when blocks of sediment break apart and move laterally down a gentle slope. That's what likely happened in Sainte-Monique in May of 2025, one of the biggest landslides the province has seen in recent years. While it may have appeared massive, it's not even close to the largest landslide in Canada's history, which actually happened in Quebec, in Saint-Alban near Quebec City in 1894. In that event, 4.6 square kilometers of earth shifted, and that's an area slightly larger than Montreal's Nuns Island. Why could we see more? Well, experts believe climate change could be playing a role. More water in the ground from snowfall in the winter and atmospheric warming could contribute to more rainfall in the spring and summer seasons.
If you have enough water in this material, in the clay, it creates a lot of pressure in the ground.
And human activity also contributes to landslides. If trees or shrubs along a shoreline are removed, water has no place to go.
When you cut trees all over the place, so roots will have a retaining effect. Plus, it will pump water out of the ground. So where you cut trees, then you increase the risk.
It's tough to predict where a landslide can happen.
There's so many factors to take into account. We know the zone that is sensitive, but within the zone, when we have these and that conditions, to predict where it is, that's very complicated.
But there are a few things that can be done to ensure the ground below us stays planted, like planting or keeping trees here and there, and a few shrubs. And just that can help lower the risk of landslides.